This is Ground Affected. My name is Brent, and welcome to a grown man on the internet making videos about painting imaginary people. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I package my models before I ship or send them anywhere. If you have a Resin 3D printer and you've printed anything, by now you will have found out that the resin is extremely brittle. And I have made a video about how you can make that resin a little bit more stronger. Sometimes we need to move these models from one place to another. In some situations, that's because we've commission painted a model. And in my opinion, the most important thing you can do to make your prints guaranteed to travel from one place to another in one piece is to probably change the mixture of your resin. But there is other things we can do, and that's to make sure that we pack it properly. First thing you're going to want to do is grab a hold of all the things you need to be able to pack your models. This is going to be bubble wrap and some tape, and also you're going to need the box. And the boxes that I like to use are double-walled boxes. So this means that instead of just one wall of cardboard, there is 2 layers of cardboard on the box, so this makes the box a lot stronger. I'm still going to work on the rigidity of the box because I feel like this is one of the most important things with it, is that the box itself needs to be really strong. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut up one of the boxes, and I'm going to use that for some strengthening within the packaging of this model. One thing to take note of when you are using cardboard like this is that there is a direction which will bend easier than the other direction. So you want to make sure that if you're using it for strength, to make sure that you fold it in the direction that is actually going to be stronger for you. Then what you're going to do is wrap the living daylights like you're a spider out of every single object that you need to put in this box. And I like to tape it down just to make sure that everything doesn't come apart. It makes my life easier while I'm working. Also, if you are folding cardboard like this, a really good idea is to score one side of the cardboard. That means to cut through only halfway through the cardboard with a knife, not all the way through. And this will just help the cardboard fold over. So the reason that I put these wings into the cardboard itself was for a couple of reasons. Number one, the cardboard around the wings, around the bubble wrap, will obviously help keep them quite well protected so they don't get damaged. But number two, when I cut this piece of cardboard, I cut it so that it's the exact width of the box. So when I put these into the box, this will be a little bit more added strength for the box as well. So this will obviously help in keeping these parts safer. I packed a little bit of bubble wrap into the ends of these just to make it a little bit extra protected. And then I started to lay out all the rest of the parts that I needed to wrap up. Again, I wrap them in quite a few layers of bubble wrap. I make sure that they are really well protected. I don't tuck the bubble wrap in too much. Some parts need to have it tucked in, but more importantly, just keeping that loose bubble wrap on the edges is a bit of a cushion that you can use to your advantage whilst the product is inside the box. And since bubble wrap is fairly cheap, it's not a good idea to go easy on this. Just layer it as much as possible. The best thing you can have is a model or an item that's going to get somewhere in one piece rather than in 50 different pieces. So as for the box, what you can see is that I'd folded up a couple pieces on the bottom. This is from the box that I had previously cut before, and I placed this into the bottom to create some sort of dividing sections inside the box. But at the same time, this creates a strength on the width of the box, so nothing pressing on the sides will crush the box because there is already a little bit of provided strength there. And you can see how the folded pieces of cardboard work to create also a divider, as well as to protect and stop the box from being crushed from the sides. This is just a small bit of protection, but every little bit adds up and makes it stronger in the end. And as a last item, I'm going to take the last piece of the box that I cut before and fold this in half and put this into the top. Again, this just creates more strength and makes sure that the box is super rigid and nothing's going to break or crush through the sides. Hopefully that gave you some insight into how I package my own models, especially ones that have been commissioned to be custom painted by other people all across the world. But if you were just moving from home to home, it's probably best to use the same techniques. This way you make sure that your models get there in one piece and you don't arrive in your new home with a very sad face. If you join the Patreon, you get nothing, but you do get access to our private Discord, where the best people in the internet world of painting, model and things happen. And over there, once a month, we gather all the best pieces of painting and we put them together to choose an artist of the month. And the artist of the month for this month is High Tech Lowlife, with his wonder that he painted. And even though we've only done this once before, it's already become tradition for me to show everybody else's entries for Artist of the Month. Honestly, I've watched people join the Patreon from the beginning when I started all this, and I've seen them grow immensely, and this really makes me happy because I know now that the efforts I'm putting into making these videos and working on the Patreon and the Discord and everything is actually paying off, and other people are starting to see the rewards of that too. Also, while we're talking about Patreon, I've got a couple new patrons I'd like to thank for joining in the last week. Clusterhead and Rick Kinter. Thank you dudes so much for your support. This really helps the channel and helps keep these lights blinding my eyes. And now to speak about the competition that I'm going to be posting on social media. If you would like a chance to win up to 4 liters of resin as well as a wet palette, then click on the link in the description for the painting competition that I'll be hosting over on Instagram. The rules of the competition are pretty simple. All you've got to do is paint a model. It doesn't matter whose model, what model, as long as you 3D printed this model and you paint it to the best of your abilities. Take up to 3 photographs and post them onto your Instagram with the hashtag Nova3D, hashtag Army Painter, and hashtag Effected Paint Comp. I'll put all that information in the post when I post it on Instagram. The closing date for this competition is the 30th of May. And no, I'm not looking for the best painted model. I'm looking for something that actually stands out and shows that you cared and enjoyed what you were doing when you made it. So the parameters for winning this competition has got nothing to do with whether you're the best photographer or the best model painter in the world. Someone who's never done this before might have a chance of winning a whole load of resin for themselves or even a wet palette. I will be splitting the prize up into 3 prizes. There will be a first, second and third place, so there is 3 chances for you to win something in this painting competition. And I would like to thank Nova3D for sponsoring the resin that we will be giving out in this competition, as well as Army Painter, who also offered up a wet palette for a prize in this painting competition. I'd also like to thank everybody who watches the videos and for the support on the videos. It's absolutely amazing, and I hope that we can keep growing forward and
we can become the supreme overlord of all painting upon YouTube.
also, if you haven't clicked like and you haven't clicked subscribe, you probably should do that now. And if you didn't like anything that you saw in this video, the easiest thing to do is just click dislike, bruh, and f*** off. I wonder how many people are going to tell me, I don't have social media so I can't enter a competition.